This week's episode is sponsored by Nordic Track. Their range includes premium treadmills, cross trainers, and exercise bikes. With nearly 50 years of at-home workouts, they know fitness. Their trainer-led workouts help athletes run faster, grow stronger, and do whatever else they set their sights on. They're in the business of bringing personalised fitness to people like you, so that every minute spent training is a step towards your goals. Begin your journey today with a 5% discount using the code IRP2025 at nordictrackfitness.com.au, and also check the show notes.
Child, that your skin can bring you so much pain. Now I hear you say you got the best of both ways. Won't you come and take a walk in my shoes and tell me if you take my place?
Welcome to episode number 429 of the Inside Running Podcast. A massive thank you for being with us for another week. We've got a big show for you this week. We've got some running news, including some indoor track results. We'll get to that news a bit later on. The Doha Marathon happened, some fast times over in New Zealand. Listener question, there's about 16 things written here for Whispers. Maybe not that many, could have been an exaggeration, maybe 10 things, but pretty detailed in that segment tonight. Someone will go on the loose and we'll preview a few things that are coming up. And we're hoping to have a few guests pop in throughout this episode as well. Welcome to my co-host, the hottest man in Masters running in this country, Brad Croker. How you going this week?
I'm good, Brady. I'm still in one piece, enjoying my running. And I believe that we're sold. We're carrying the show, keeping the show alive again, Brady, tonight.
You and I are keeping the show alive, Croaks. It's just the two of us to start off with, but I've got two phone numbers that I want to put into the machine a bit later on. See if we can get hold of a few people. Maybe like a 25 to 30 minute interview with one of them. And hopefully we can get our man Moose on the phone as well to figure out where he's been. 2 weeks in a while he's gone missing. Nothing on Strava since the last time we did a podcast. The Twins could have got the better of him, Croaks. I'm not sure, but we'll hear. Hopefully, if everything goes to plan, Croaks and I were just saying off air, this could be a really good show. It could be a really shit show, depending on how these people coming in and out works. But thank you for being with us.
He put a request out for some staff a couple of weeks ago. We might have to put out a request for permanent replacement of Moose.
Yeah, he might just be like a special filling guest. Hear from him once every 7 weeks. But we do have his phone number. We do have the software's working in the background here, Croaks. I've been doing some work on that tonight, so hopefully it's smooth. But if it isn't, stay with us. Give us a training week, Croaks. Did you survive the track on Tuesday night?
I did actually. I didn't pull up sore at all, which was very, very surprising. Kicked it off with Monday. Just did 45 minutes. I think I said last week's show that I was going to have a bit of a down week, which it wasn't a crazy down week. I still did the 2 sessions. It was more I just cut out the double runs, shortened Wednesday's run a little bit, and didn't do quite as much cycling. But yeah, Monday, 45 minutes at 4:27s. And then Tuesday morning, because we do track Tuesday afternoon, I wasn't going to do a double, so I just jumped on the bike for 45 minutes. I thought I could have easily just cut like all cycling, all doubles, but I'm like, I think it's good just to keep a bit of bike riding in there. Because I know when I went away camping over Christmas, like I didn't ride for about 10 days and it only takes a couple of days to get back, but I'm thought, 45 minutes is not going to hurt a few times a week. So headed out to the track Tuesday afternoon. So this was, I think, my first track session since, I'm going to say maybe March last year, and probably my third session outdoors since the same time basically. So session was 2 200s to start off, just to sort of get things moving off a minute recovery. So ran those in 34 seconds. And then the main part of the session was like 3/4 of Deeks quarters. So rather than doing 8 sets of the 200 float, 400 on, we just did 6 sets. Done this a few times and find it's a good way of getting close to the fire without cooking yourself, and then it allows you to do a little bit after the session as well. So there's a decent group of us, like probably 4 or 5. So the group did get split up sort of halfway through the set, but I ran.
Give us some, before you go, like I feel I'm going to do it when I get to my week, just inform a few people of how to correctly do a monofartlek, because I feel that's got lost. Give us the explanation of what a Deeks quarters is and how you should do it first.
So I think if you want to do it as like a bit of a test set to maybe see where you are over 5K, I've always worked on running the 400s at sort of 5K pace and floating about 30 seconds a K slower. So that's how I would do it. And then that overall time, obviously if you're doing the full Deeks quarters, it's like 4.8K. But given the fact that you're, running 5K pace for the ons and floating for the recoveries, and it's just in a training week, it sort of generally works out that whatever you run for that 4.8 in terms of time, that's what you should be able to run for a 5K race.
And you start with a 200-meter float, or
yeah,
do you start with the? Yeah, okay.
We always start with the float, so you then finish on the hard effort. But there's other ways to do it, and I'm pretty sure that when Deke was doing it, he wasn't rocking up every Tuesday to use it as a test set. So he probably would have been running a little bit slower maybe than using it as a bit of a fitness test.
Did Deke do it with I know I've been here before, but remind me, did Deke do it with the 200 at the start or the end?
I'm pretty sure he did it with the 200 float at the start.
Okay. Because when I've done this at Falls Creek, they do it with the 200 float at the end.
Yeah, I just don't.
Yeah, and I always did it that way, but you just end up fanging the last 200.
Yeah, I just
because
know
it's all about that total time. You're like, whatever shape you can do this in, that's what you should race a 5K in. So you don't want to leave any seconds on the table.
Every coach that I've ever had, and like there've been guys that have been around for a long time, have always sort of given it to me with like the 200 float first.
Okay.
Plus, it makes sense. It's like, what's the point? Like, you end up then just turning the last.
Should I message Glenn Johnson again?
Yeah, maybe.
I'll message him while we're talking.
I'm pretty sure. I reckon you messaged him once before about this.
Well, I messaged him about his Jess Stenson, now the greatest Australian female marathoner of all time, and he was prompt on the reply. So we'll send him a message through just to see, because he did a lot of training with Deke back in the day.
I think this way makes sense because you end up then just turning the last set into a 600-meter rep if you've got the 200 float at the end. Just seems a bit weird finishing. I know, I suppose Mona finishes on a float as well, but it's only 15 seconds. Anyway, so I ran 3.6K in like 11:42. So I'd averaged out at 73 seconds for the ons and 44 seconds or so for the floats. The pace varied a fair bit. Like I think my slowest 400 was 75 and my last one was 69. And then we took 3 minutes or just over 3 minutes recovery after that. And then I did 400s off about 75 seconds recovery, and they were 68, 67, which at that point I'm probably just working. I'm probably like pushing it a bit too hard here. So backed off to a 70 and then ran 69 for the last one. So like it was a solid session. Starting to like realize the problem about having races in the calendar is you then start probably changing the way you train a little bit rather than. And so what I've got to keep reminding myself is that, I plan on doing a couple of track races over the next 5 weeks, but I need to prioritize being healthy for 6-12 months. So I'm better off probably just going into these races like underdone as opposed to going out and trying to really like sharpen up as if it's like a national championship or something. But
you might not have many record attempts though.
Oh, I won't be in 14:48 shape in like February. There's no way. Like
you don't. This is a good workout, Crooks.
Not so. For context, when I ran like 14:44 a couple of years ago, I did this same session and I was running, I think 70s, 71s for the fours and 40 to 41 for the floats. So it's probably like 3 seconds. It's 3 seconds a lap. Which 3 seconds a
Don't
lap.
give up, though, on that Australian
No.
record yet.
That's like, what, 30?
Did you finish with some 400s in 68?
They were quicker than that. Yeah, I was running like 66s.
68 is 250 pace, though. It's 14:10 pace.
Yeah. But I'm only running 400. Like it's
at the end of the workout, though.
Yeah. So I'm nowhere near 14. I'm nowhere near sub 15 shape. I reckon I'm close to like 15:20, 15:30 at the moment.
What was the easy 5K record again? Should I flick back through my notepad here that we spoke about last week?
Well, I don't know. I think that was a championship record though, so you got to run it at the championship.
Yeah. I've got a line through it. It was 15:33. But did you know the championships are going to be held in Canberra this year?
I didn't until a message came through, but it's also the same weekend that 5K that we're doing on the Friday night is on.
Oh,
so
okay.
I'll probably be supporting
that one. Prioritise your one over that.
So anyway, Wednesday I woke up and I wasn't sore at all, which was really surprising.
What shoes did you wear?
I wore the Metaspeed Edge.
Yeah.
So, which was really encouraging, given I haven't run that fast for that extended period of time for months, and there was no soreness at all. And that was probably the one thing I noticed on Tuesday night at the track was fitness-wise felt fairly good. But, when you haven't run, that sort of speed endurance really zaps that sort of neuromuscular fatigue. You start to, you just struggle to sort of hold form because your body's just not conditioned to turning over at that rate. Which hopefully that'll just improve the more I do. So anyway, I did an hour on Wednesday at 4:23s, and then also did gym in the afternoon and a 1 hour bike ride. Just 40 minutes on Thursday, so it was 4:23s, and then Friday just a treadmill session, 5 by 6 minutes, all at 18k an hour or 3:20s. 60 minutes on the bike that afternoon. Saturday morning, ran an hour, a bit around Mulligan's, and then finished at the kids' Little A's. Hour on the bike in the afternoon, and then 2 hours yesterday with Zach and Rob around Mulligan's. And the weather's cooled down a lot here, so it's made the last 2 Sundays really quite enjoyable. Starts to, I suppose, you sort of realise all of the training in the heat, how fit you get when you then get a coolish day.
What was the heart rate average for this? I'm just opening now.
Yeah, my heart rate didn't sync up.
Yeah.
So it's got
66 or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it's one of those, every now and then it just does it. It's like you go to run, and often it'll say external heart rate sort of,
connected.
But I did it a few times and it just wasn't connecting, and I wasn't going to keep the other boys waiting. So it was 66 for the day. So it was a week of 100 and... it was about 109, maybe 109k. So down a little bit from, down a little bit from the previous weeks, which is good.
10 hours and 31 minutes of exercise, though.
Yeah, no, I'm in a pretty good spot. I just need to, just be patient and not throw everything at sort of these track races, because I know that if I stay injury free for 6 to 12 months, what I'm doing now, I'll be able to I'll be running way faster then.
Yeah, we want Croaks running Gold Coast Marathon weekend, Melbourne Marathon weekend, Sydney Marathon weekend.
Yeah, and I think that's often a mistake most runners make. As soon as they put a race in the calendar, they start probably changing the way that they train and maybe don't make smart decisions. Which we might get to a bit of that in the listener question.
Yeah, that's good. Give us the dates again.
So there's a 3
races.
Yeah, so there's a 3K here in Canberra on the 7th of Feb, which who knows, there probably won't be many people turn up to that at all. And that's the week before the New South Wales 5K, which is the 14th of Feb.
Okay.
Yeah. So the 3K will be more just to get out there and do something solid. I probably may even just sort of run the first part of it at sort of goal 5K pace and then try and kick down a little bit.
Just get a feel for it, that continued effort, working the bends.
Yeah, I don't want to completely bury myself the week before the main race and also get 1,500 meters in and be hating it. So I think I'll be fairly conservative on that 3K.
What about the local fellas, like Rob Wilson going to get out there? Zach?
Yeah, Zach will. I've got a couple other guys that'll do it. But I'm also hoping that the races increase in numbers, just given the season sort of by February starting to sort of be in full swing. Like I get people not racing much in January because they're often away, at altitude and stuff like that.
Yeah. Okay, good. I'll whip through this week, Croaks. I had a bone deload week. Do you know what that means?
Well, I suppose it's just a
deload the bones.
Yeah, run less, let your body catch up.
I guess, isn't it? Yeah.
Training load. Yep.
Yeah. Paddy told me it's a bone deload week. He highlighted everything on this plan, like bright yellow. He messaged me Sunday night, just making sure, like, hey, it's a bone deload week. Don't get carried away. Which, because when you're building, you're just building back up every week, and then it's like, put it down again. But I was disciplined. I stuck to the plan. Monday, I had 40 minutes, 5 by 15 second strides, and then I did 50 minutes on the elliptical. Have you ever watched the TV series How to Make It in America?
No,
it's
I haven't.
Old. It's like 10 years ago. That's good. Easy treadmill watching. Kid Cudi's in it. The rapper Kid Cudi?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, he's in there. Mark Wahlberg, I reckon, was executive producer. It's easy watching. Not the best television. I think it got cancelled after 2 seasons, but it's good for elliptical stuff. Tuesday, monofartlek. This worried me a bit because when you got a yardstick with monofartlek, and I know my distances. That's like I need 6.4K, 6.5 over 20 minutes when I'm going really well. And this is the first, I've been doing intensity with the strides, but all my other workouts have been threshold workouts. So I haven't really ran quicker than 325 in the last, I think it's been about 3 months now. So this one scared me on the program. Went 10 minutes out, turned around, 10 minutes back. Such a great workout. It's still the GOAT of workouts. The best bang for buck 20 minutes you can find in a workout. And I think it replicates a race more than any other workout. Maybe Deeks quarters, when you do that, like you do the whole set of it, is pretty good as well.
Why are you wanting to like replicate a race at this point in your training though?
I'm not trying to replicate a race. I just think it hurts more than other workouts hurt.
Yeah.
Because you just never, and this is, I had a mate from work. He's been getting into running the last couple of years, and he did it on. I saw it on Strava, and he was like full on jogging the recoveries, and I'm like, and he's like, I'm not sure if I done it right. Is this how you do it? And I'm like, no. Like the floats are, you keep the foot on the gas. I said to him, aim for like 20 to 30 seconds per K pace slower on the floats than the ons, and like you've done it right if you cooked it like 17 minutes into it. Like I was 17 minutes in and I'm like, I don't know if I'm making it back to the car today. Like,
well, especially the first time. Like it does, I think the more you do it, you
learn the workout.
Yeah, and you actually do close. You can close strongly if you've done it regularly.
Yeah, and I still think I got it right. Like I wasn't popping, but it was just a level of hurt that I don't feel when I do threshold workouts.
Yeah.
Because your heart rate just climbs the whole time. Anyway, it was good. I was probably like 305 to 310 pace for the ons and like 330 to 340 for the floats. Slowest I've ever, or least distance I've ever covered in that workout. You know how you can search on Strava your activities, but I was only like 240 meters off the 22nd of February last year. So that's a positive sign, Croaks. Like I ran a marathon PB in April last year. So I'm like, hey, I'm getting there. Good to do that 60 minutes in the afternoon for an elliptical double. Wednesday was a rostered day off, but I was allowed to do 75 minutes of cross training. So I took the mountain bike out. Couldn't really get the heart rate up on the motorbike. I was going like these bush trails. Just wanted to explore a bit of a Chuka bush that I've never been before. Thursday, 5 by 50 minutes with 5 by 15 second strides and then an hour on the elliptical. 45 minutes at 4:44 pace in the morning Friday, and then 45 minutes on the elliptical on Friday night. Actually had to go to a funeral on Friday, Croaks, down in Bendigo. So that's always a sad day going to a funeral. But the highlight of, well, not the highlight, and I was sitting waiting for the funeral to start. My brother got there like 20 minutes before the funeral started, and he rolls in next to me at the church, like really like somber kind of vibe in a church before a funeral. And he just whispers in my ear, he goes, hey, you ever heard of Jess Hull? And I was like, yeah, why? He's like, oh, we just had the Howie Games podcast on at work, and she mentions that she listens to the Inside Running podcast. Like, that's your podcast, isn't it? Like, he knows nothing about running. And this is like, now we're like 20 seconds before this funeral's going to start. And I'm just like, this is not the time or place. But yes, I know who she is. We've had her on our podcast. Like, just trying to explain this to my little brother who doesn't know a lot about running. So if you're listening, thank you for giving us a shout out on the Hayley Games podcast. Saturday, 30 minutes easy. And then in the afternoon, I volunteered at the Echuca Triathlon. I was, they help us out for Sweat vs. Steam Croaks, and I know how hard it is to get volunteers. So I put my name down to volunteer, and then they put me on they put me in charge of the whole run leg. Stepped straight up. I wanted a real stress-free afternoon, just pointing to one direction. This is the way you run, but had to. And that triathlons are complicated because you got the run leg right next to the road where the bikes are going, and then there's pedestrians, and chaotic afternoon for me Saturday arvo. And then Sunday, 80 minutes, 4:10 pace. Anthony on the bike, probably a bit too hot. I was nearly like 148 average for this. So I was I've almost been using these as my second workout of the week, get going a bit on the long runs, then jump straight on the elliptical for 45 minutes. So it was only 71 Ks, but I did 5 hours of elliptical, 75 minutes on the bike, went to Melbourne and back one day, and then 2 trips to Bendigo and back. So it was just a busy weekend.
When do you sort of get free reign to really ramp things up?
Because 2 weeks to go.
It's like, because Boston's 12 weeks away?
I think it's 13. I think I have 11 weeks when I've clocked these last 2 weeks.
Yeah, so it'll be 12 weeks this weekend, and then 11. Yeah, because you're essentially you're going to miss a whole, I guess, the pre-marathon block in a way. I
always like people doing 2-hour long runs before you even get to the last 13 weeks.
So you're going to do this marathon block completely different in terms of maybe not quite as many marathon specific sessions, given you won't have really done any 2.5 hour runs before you're meant to start the marathon block.
Yeah, I am. I did love what Reese said last week, and I'm not sure how much we should be listening to Reese, but he said he has this muscle memory because he's done 200K weeks in the past. He can jump straight back into 200K weeks. Yeah. So I'm wondering, can I go from 110Ks a week to 160? But I'll just do 130, heaps doing cross training. I've got no pressure on for Boston either. I don't want to go to Boston, or I don't have to go to Boston as attempting to break 220 Brady. It's just if I can go there fit, hit it with momentum, maybe I don't need a 2-week taper, do a 1.5-week taper, just see what happens. It's going to be really interesting.
I don't think the volume's an issue. I think you can run decent volume. It's running hard marathon specific sessions when you haven't done that 6 weeks before, with just decent volume, decent long runs.
It's going to be the legs too, because I feel like the heart's actually in a good spot because I'm doing so much cross training. But it's and I was saying to Zachy yesterday, actually, I'm hitting these 89, 90 minute, medium kind of longer runs at the moment at 4:10s. I think when I jump to 2 hours, I'll just put them straight to 4:30s. Doing a 4:30 for 2 hours will probably be easier than doing 90 minutes at 4:10s. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, watch this space. Hey, should we try get our man on the phone?
Let's do it.
Let me see. I'll put in his number here. I think I've got him. 2 seconds. Oh, this button's getting pushed here. He's on the shop floor, I reckon, Croaks. Up there at the Running Company in Canberra. That was his excuse for why he couldn't make us. Hey, help us. Nah, I don't have him. He hasn't picked up. He's on mute.
Hello, it's Julian speaking.
Hello, Moose. We got you. Where are you?
You on a camp chair there, Moose?
Aren't you meant to be working?
I'm on a camp chair, yeah. No, it's I'm having a little smoko break, actually. This is all the chairs, this is all the furniture we got here, my camp chair.
Smoko at 7:30 in the evening on a Monday.
Yeah, mate, we are flat out up here. Me and he's actually giving me the glare because I've taken a bit too much time for Smoko, and he's in there putting racks up himself. Go up to Canberra. Geez, it's not that far, actually, Croaks. I don't know why you don't come to Melbourne more often. It's not that far.
How long did it take you to drive up there?
Well, I left at 3. I stayed at the Dog on the Tucker box. Stayed in my car.
Gunda guy,
yeah. The dog's gone, mate. You been there lately? It's fucking empty. There's a KFC and Oliver's.
I
Nah,
love
isn't
that.
it
I
just a
love
bit
that.
past? I don't think it's right on the
Yeah,
server. I think you got to go around the corner a bit.
No, I
that's
did.
right.
I did go around the corner. It was like pulled down. They're putting a new one up.
I love that you say it's not real far, but you didn't make it in one go. You stopped it, slept at Gunda Guy.
Yeah, I thought it was a bit dangerous considering I haven't slept longer than 2 hours straight for the last month to just drive through the night. I was looking after everyone else. But yeah, no, got up here this morning. Crux, it's beautiful up here.
It's
Beautiful
good, isn't it?
climate. It's cold in the morning and it's like
Mm.
the hottest time of the day now. It's 7:30 p.m.
Yeah, we're just talking about how it's sort of a bit of a cool change has come through, so the weather's actually really nice at the moment.
Yeah, beautiful. Um, saw a few people running along the highway. Good, good commuting up here. A lot of good bike paths next to the highways.
Yep, plenty of bike paths, plenty of trails.
Yeah, and drove past Gungahlin. I remember you've been out at Gungahlin. Is that where you used to live?
Well, I live pretty close to Gung. I'm like 3 kilometers from Gungahlin now.
Yeah, yeah,
That was his local park run, wasn't it? That's where you got in the fight, Crux.
What are you doing? Yeah, no, yeah, it was. That's where I fell. Yep.
yeah. Through hands.
Hey, Moose, we just said at the start of the show, where have you been? Nothing on Strava, 2 weeks off the podcast. Listeners are worried about you. Croaks thinks you got to be maybe replaced permanently. Maybe you just do a guest shift now and then.
Oh, Croaks, we didn't replace you after you retired 15 times.
I kept turning up though.
Nah, I have a stress reaction in my knee, bone edema. I got a scan on Tuesday last week, just to confirm what Ali actually diagnosed. She thought it was this. I went to her. It's the first time she's ever got anything right in her whole life.
Say that.
Well,
She's a good physio, isn't she?
well, she's a guesser. She guesses. All physios are guessers, but she actually got this guess right. So it explains why I've been so sore and why after 2 weeks that there was no real improvement in my knee. So now I am been off for 4 weeks, I reckon, about that. And it's starting to improve. So but it's bone stress in the femur, and I've got a massive crack, or they got like technical words for it. But there's a big crack in my cartilage, which has created this bone on bone situation inside the knee joint. So my kneecap hits my femoral something or other, and yeah, it's pretty easy to spot on the MRI. Even I saw it after someone put an arrow on it. But yeah, it's been a very good time for me because I think I underestimated the how intense the month after with newborn twins would be. So I've had no inclination to run. I've done no aerobic activity in a month now. I do little bit of gym just to feel like I'm doing at least something, but that's only 15, 20 minutes a day. Flat out with Canberra. Like this store is coming along real fast. You can see in the back here. It's just like I'm in the car park at the store now. Chris and I are in here for 3-4 days straight. We interviewing staff today. Interviewed 4 people and setting up racks, setting up our computers, talking to the builders on site, getting our signage sorted. So it's been full on. It's been flat out.
Did you get
Yeah.
any applicants after you gave it a shout out on the podcast?
Well, that's the only place we actually advertised it, and
good.
we got a lot, and
Good ones.
we got really good ones because, like, obviously our listeners are intelligent, disciplined, loyal, honest people, and they love running, and they've reached out to chat to us. So yeah, it's been really good, really good.
When will you be open, Moose? Because I swung by on Saturday. I was out in Fishwick and I sent you a message saying give us the address. And when we pulled up, I'm like, fair bit to be done there. It was just a shell.
It looks a lot further behind than what it is. So
Okay.
it's covered in like tarps, and it is a bit of a shell because the majority of the work in here is joinery that's going to come in all at once. So one big install and changes everything. And yeah, all hands on deck here. Tomorrow onwards, the builder assures us. So the builders are here, the Sparky's here. We've got all our racking delivered. Tomorrow, all the tradies arrive. I won't go into it too detailed. I'll just tease a few things out. But we've got this system that we've imported from Sweden. It's like a markless motion capture sort of biomechanics analysis treadmill and depth perception camera setup. So this creates it's probably the most in-depth gait assessment I've ever seen, and we've got it for a retail system. So yeah, it's going to be, we're rolling that out in Canberra, and we've got to install that properly. So there's a bit of work to do in that.
How does Jimmy and Toby feel that Canberra gets the special treatment and they just get standard treadmills?
Both of them want to work up here now. Both of them are campaigning for this. Toby applied for the management job.
Did he?
No, he didn't. But
he didn't just move over from New Zealand?
Yeah, I think he stitched himself up there. He was ready to come up, ready to move. He might dump her there, head up to Canberra.
Also, don't say that. Also, don't say that stuff. Moose, the bone stress. First time you've had a stressy?
No, it's actually the exact same injury I got in 2022 in my right knee. So I've had this injury on the right hand side. It was the year 2023. It was the year.
The joke was when I got my stress reaction, and it was the first one we had on the show.
Well, it's not traditional bone stress. It's not caused by like being a little underweight human like you. It's caused by a biomechanical issue, not a whatever it is that you got. Yeah, it's
load management. Isn't that the same thing?
It's probably a bit of that in it. But there is a structural thing within my knee and like a mechanics perspective where my kneecaps don't track all that well. Probably a bit of strength work that needs to be done. I came out of that on the right-hand side when I had this last time. A lot of the talk commentary from the practitioners was, "Oh, this is a real bad one. You'll probably this will limit you. You're running forever." But it's really never reoccurred like that bad. So I'm not too stressed about it. I think
does that crack in your cartilage just heal by itself, does it?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think so. But I think you get to if you get to a point like this was I don't know. Gonna have to divert those questions somewhere more higher up.
Maybe I don't think you care though, do you? You're just like, getting this healed isn't exactly at the top of your priority at the moment. Just have time off.
It's not at all. And it's the first time in 15 years that I don't care. Like I've got so much going on, and it's like the importance factor. Like leaving Bree was really a hard thing to do, to come up here. Like just the logistics of feeding two babies multiple times throughout the night when you got a 4-year-old pretty much in the bed with you. It's not great. It's just bad timing right now. And opening up a store that we think could be one of the best stores that we've ever seen at the same time, like you can't half-ass that either. So it's it's just bad timing, and she's been a trooper back home right now.
You guys also made this decision about the store before you knew Bree was pregnant too, didn't you? Because someone said that to me. They're like, "Oh, you shouldn't be doing this." I'm like, "No, this was all locked in before they knew."
Yeah,
you didn't decide to open a store,
and it was going to be open before the babies arrived.
November we started to start planning this back in that's 14 months ago, and then we signed a lease for here in March. So it's been a very long process. I think we found out about twins in maybe May or June. So yeah, it's definitely that was a spanner in the works. I certainly wouldn't have committed to this if I knew that was coming. But at the same time, I didn't really know what twins involved until it's hit. And yeah, it's been a real, I'll say this now, I'll never judge another parent ever again, no matter what I see. You don't know what's going on in their background. You don't know what's happened that night or that morning or that lunchtime. I'm a very open-minded person now to parenting styles.
If they've got an iPad, it's all good.
Oh yeah, so much. How good's TV? Fucking TV is a savior.
What else has been happening, Moose? Have you got a Moose on the loose for us? Any whispers before I let you go? Give us something.
Oh, whispers, yeah. What have there's been some whispers float through. I reckon we've firmed up one of your whispers for last week.
Yeah, I've got that in there. We got 9 whispers written down tonight.
Oh, well,
That was the
yeah.
one about it says here confirmed whisper from a couple of weeks ago about a big name leaving their management / training group. Confirmed it during the week with their new agent.
Yep, that was. I'll go a whisper there.
I don't think that individual will announce it either, because people are like, oh, wait for the social media. I think I said wait for the social media, but I don't think this individual actually uses social media like that.
I saw him walking down the street. Saturday. What day?
Just keep speculating.
Friday, the other day.
Do you think there'll be obviously if he changes sponsors and he's in a different, wearing different kit, that would obviously announce it. But sure, but he would have to announce something, wouldn't he? Like if that was the case.
Once the kit changes. Yeah, but you're never sure. Ben, your contract maybe that's different than what your training group is.
I reckon your agency would want to announce it because that's a big sign for them. Like that's marketing, that's promotion for the agency. They want to be like, hey, we signed this big dog. Who else wants to come?
Yeah, true. What else you got?
Don't think I've got an entry for London, so we'll just write London off. All in on Sydney though. All in on Sydney. I'm going to have a...
Can you just say you haven't thought about running? I've got a stress reaction in my knee, but I'm all in a race at the end of August.
Yeah, but...
Doesn't know whether he needs surgery on the knee or anything. I'm all in.
Not sure how he's going to survive as a parent.
Nah, I reckon I've got a good 7 months of training in me, though. When it happens, when I start running, that's when the bug bites back. I'm just waiting for the bite back. It's going to come soon. I've turned into a bit of a fat body. That's been a problem. Like there's a month now of no aerobic, and like you love getting big. Like Brady, you talk about sort of putting on weight. Yeah. Not me. I don't love it because I'm a grower, and
we're coming from a different starting point.
Yeah, I'm like I've been doing a lot of upper body just so that like the mass seems to take more shape. I'm not sure whether it is or not, but I feel like if I'm doing some bench and some chin up. Oh yeah, on that. Just reminds me, how's your chin-ups going?
I haven't done any since the last time we spoke. It's scaring me to grip the other way.
You haven't even tried that?
No, I haven't. No.
Huh.
Been too busy.
Too busy in the gym?
Too busy and 5 hours on the elliptical. Didn't touch the chin-up bar.
When are we going to do this? When was the bet set for?
No, we didn't. Do we have an official bet on this?
I reckon it was 20. I reckon it was 20.
Yeah, it was 15, but we didn't have a slab, did we?
Yeah, I don't trust it. I'm going to need to see a little bit of a video first. But yeah, I've been in there. I've been doing that. Been doing some push-ups. Went camping. Went down to Princetown.
Camping? What, with the whole family?
Nah, I had to get Pia out of there.
Good idea.
It was just this melting pot in the house. I'm like, Pia, let's get out of here. Let's go down the coast.
You go fishing?
Yeah. Fuck. How hard is it to catch fish?
It's pretty, especially with a 4-year-old.
It's fucking impossible. I like throw a prawn in and she's like, it's the same prawn that we use for an hour. Not even touch it. And how do you explain to your 4-year-old, I don't know what we're doing wrong, Pia? Like, she watches them catch fish on TV all the time.
Yeah. Hudson kept asking me the other day, like, is it ready yet, Dad? Is it ready? Like we're putting something in the oven or the microwave. It's like, all right, we're just going to do it for 3 minutes and it will be ready to pull out. I know, mate. You'll know when it's ready. Trust me. But is it ready, Dad? No.
I've got Moose on the Loose is the amount of fucking local legend email. Like I'm losing my local legend status every day.
Oh, yeah.
All the different routes. And they're my routes too. Like these are the ones that like literally up my driveway. Someone's taken that sort of shit. And it's a real kick in the guts when you're injured to get an email saying you're no longer the local legend of your own driveway. Or you've lost your king of the mountain on this track, which you've had for 8 years. Oh, that's a good...
You're going to change the settings, Moose. Turn them off. Turn off the notifications.
Oh, yeah, that's good. Yeah, I mean, I haven't had a kudos in 3 weeks now. I don't check it too often. It's actually pretty good for your mental health to get off.
It.
Yeah.
Well, you know what'll happen, Moose? When you log that first run back, people will get a notification saying Julian Spence is back. Like when I think Luke Matthews, on his like fourth or fifth comeback, when he came, it was like Luke Matthews logged an activity, give him some kudos.
I think he actually wrote in his title, Luke Matthews is back, give me some kudos. Now, what I've been doing actually, this is a bit of a tip out there, or like maybe it's an idea for some people. I'm using Strava like a digital diary. So every Sunday, me and Pia go for a bushwalk. And what I do is I take photos on this like bushwalk. It's about 45 minutes and I log it as a hike. And so I put I log it and I make it private, but then I put all these photos up from the run. And one day you'll be able to download all this stuff off Strava and you'll have like a digital journal. How good's that idea?
See, haven't they submitted to be like IPO, become a company? I think I saw something about that.
Well, Zaka probably knows about that. Zaka's probably all in on that.
Could
you imagine Moose's response, Brady, if we were doing that on Strava?
I fucking made it private, mate. I don't want you to see it. That's the difference here.
One day.
I'm keeping it private.
They've been going hard on like the AI programs and stuff, haven't they? Strava, I'm getting more notifications.
I hate AI so much. I get all these AI generated emails. Like,
oh yeah.
And they ask
when they've got the massive like dash, like the line instead of a comma.
Oh,
Whenever I get an email with that in it, I'm like, you've put this through ChatGPT.
Yeah. Anyone who's asking for donations for their charity or sponsorship that's an AI email, delete. You got to have some, like, if you're going to be asking for stuff that's like from a business, I want some interaction. I want a person to person. The world's getting scary, boys. AI is not good for us.
Even AI videos, like you log on Facebook or whatever on social media, you watch a video, you think it's real, and then it's not until you go through to the comments section like, oh yeah, that's AI. And it's like, it looks real. Like I don't even know what to believe anymore.
Yeah.
Which is really shit.
I know, it's ruining us. What's real exactly? You like, I didn't know what it was. Like I watched something. I don't know what it was, but I'm like, I believed it for like 3 days, and then a comment popped up showing AI.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh fuck, okay. But it's like you take a photo now, and on the iPhone you clear everything else. You basically just create your own photo. It is scary. It's like we're in a different reality. What do you call it? The Matrix, Brady.
It's a simulation. That's what I reckon happened. We've been here before. I've told you guys the galaxy is so big. There's another Inside Running podcast with 3 blokes who are the same as us.
Do you reckon in that podcast there's a bloke called Croaks who did his calf carrying a backpack?
Yeah, at Melbourne, the day before a breakthrough half marathon. There would be. That's how big the universe is. There's probably one who's done his calf and hasn't done his calf on a different galaxy.
Ruined me. It would have been at the 2019 World Champs if it wasn't for that.
You, Josh Harris, that Kohlrabi.
No, would have been me and Moose.
Yeah.
Who's the other one? Oh, no, 2019.
Oh, yeah, I would have got that sub 216 at Valencia off the back of Melbourne.
You were unlucky. Your 217 wasn't a couple of years earlier. Yeah. That would have been your singlet.
I hope you threw that backpack away, mate.
We got to love you and leave you, Moose.
Yep,
We haven't even got the running news yet.
Yep.
We've got Maudie Skyring. I think we're going to try call her next. Have you got any questions for her?
Maudie, ask about the coach. I want to hear some intricate stuff about the coach.
How's this? Brady's put a question here. Did you know who Craig Mottram was before you joined OAC? And what's the training philosophy that Craig uses?
Hang on.
Now that you're a coach, how would you describe your coaching philosophy?
That's a shit question. People ask me this all the time. That is.
Come on, Croaks.
You explain to me what that question means.
All right.
I uploaded that to the soundboard today, fellas. I've got it in there.
I didn't know that was coming, Brady. When I saw the question, I'm like, oh, that's dangerous territory.
I've got it in there. But yeah, we just got to make sure Croaks doesn't offend Mottram again in this next 30 minutes.
Ask her this. Ask her when the On Marathon project is coming.
All right.
because that's the missing piece in Australian distance
I've
running.
kind of got a question around that, haven't I, Croaks? Oh, sorry,
Little bit,
yeah.
yeah.
I've kind of got a question in there about On's relevance on the roads. Like they don't really have road runners. Like I guess
Well, they don't anymore.
Zach Fatshone did, but then
he's gone.
he's left. Yeah.
He hasn't left. Surely he's not
Well,
left.
yeah. Think he didn't get renewed or whatever.
Mm.
All right. Good to hear from you. You hang up your phone. I think we're good with that audio.
All right. See ya.
There.
See you, Moose. Good luck.
Thanks.
Nordic Track knows how to deliver premium personal training at home because they've been perfecting it for decades. Every treadmill, exercise bike, elliptical and rower is built to transform how people experience fitness, from the feel of the treadmill cushion to seamless tracking apps and trainer-created programs that guide every step of the journey. Their iFit experience is something truly special, designed to motivate, challenge and inspire every day. Nordic Track is proud of its cardio legacy. They craft industry-leading treadmills that make every workout worth the time spent, including incline trainers that reach an unmatched 40% incline. Their Freestride Trainer elliptical offers a heart-pumping workout with zero impact, giving users powerful, joint-friendly ways to move. Whatever someone's fitness level or goal, there's a Nordic Track product built to support it. With iFit, users can train like never before. Whether they're brand new to running or preparing for their next marathon, they can experience everything from the Boston Marathon course to the mountains of New Zealand, all guided by expert trainers who help them step up their game through truly interactive personal training at home. Begin your journey today with a 5% discount using our code IRP2025 at nordictrackfitness.com.au. Can we get through this running news, you reckon, Croaks?
Yeah, let's whip through it. Or do you want to do Patreon shout-outs?
Yep. You can go first.
All right. This week, I've got Adam Maney. Adam's from Port Macquarie in New South Wales, lovely part of the world, and he's vice president at the Port Pacers Running Club. Ran 15:58 on the 3rd of January at the Nagoya Park Run, 33:30 at the Pacers Super Series 10K, 71:35 at last year's Gold Coast Half, and 2:38 at last year's Sydney Marathon. Has a Bachelor of Urban and Regional Planning as well as a graduate diploma in Building Surveying, and is director of Maney Pty Limited. So some solid PBs there, Adam, and thank you for your support.
How good's his company's named after himself as well?
Yeah.
I like that. That's a real flex. Thank you, Adam, for your support. I'm going to thank Anthony Boyle from Mycombe near Byron Bay. He's got some fast times, 16:19 at the Ballina Park Run, and his best marathon time we think is 2:51. Came during the 2023 Gold Coast 50K, where he ran 3 hours and 29 minutes. It's pretty solid, isn't it? What do you take him? Do you reckon he could run 2:45 then if he's running 2:48?
Well, also, like, you got to factor in the Gold Coast 50K. It's bloody hot. when they do that one.
Yeah, he could be. Off a 16:19 as well. He could be a 2:45 guy, easy. That placed him 6th in the Aussie 50K champs that day. He's part of the Byron Bay Runners, seems to do a fair bit of cycling and swimming, has a civil engineer degree, so he's a smart guy, and was a project manager with BMD Group. That's a good title, Croaks. Thank you, Anthony, for your support of the podcast, and thank you to all our Patreon supporters for supporting the Inside Running podcast. What did we kick off with last week? That was The Road to Somewhere, the debut. Leanne Pompiani, Ali Pashley, Nick Earl. We're calling it episode 2 because they have done episode 1 where they did name that show The Road to Somewhere. That was good to hear. Long episode as well. They go for like an hour 50. So
did that over a couple of bike rides.
Yeah, so did I. Half a trip to Bendigo, I think. So value for money there, and good vibes with these three. Ali's still yet to make a decision on her marathon. Leanne, great world cross-country recap. And, plenty of laughs in there. So if you like what we do and you like bonus content, Patreon's a place to do it. That's patreon.com/Inside Running Podcast. The OG monthly boys are on this week, Croaks. And did you see Chris O's Instagram stories today?
No, I didn't.
So they've chartered an aeroplane from Oslo to Valencia for the Valencia Marathon this year. Something like 250 seats on the aeroplane. They sold it out in 5 minutes. How good's that? Because I think they can't fly direct, so he's just like, we'll just charter our own plane.
Norwegian things, eh? So how they
How
do it
good
up
is
there.
that? That's it. They're just innovative. They're like, here's a problem. We need solutions.
Yeah, they've also got lots of money up there.
Yeah, but I reckon if you just, how good it'd be being on a chartered aeroplane, everyone's doing the same marathon.
We'll
You
find
wouldn't,
out how
you
much.
wouldn't want
Find
to
out
be
how much
sick.
is. Find out how much a seat cost.
I did say
And
this is going to be a talking topic on the monthly this week, so we'll get to that. These running weekly news and results segment. This is proudly brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. Kick things off, Croaks, your boy. He's doing your boy things.
Yeah, so over at University of Washington indoor preview meet, Cam Myers ran 3:49.81 for the mile, won by over 4 seconds from Sam Prakel. It was a meet and facility record. And so for some context, the previous meet record was set back in 2019 by Yomif Kajelcha. Fellow Aussie Thomas Diamond was in that race as well, and he ran 3:55 to finish fifth. So Cam's, to open up with that coming off, I know he was doing a couple of decent sessions here on the track before he went, but you'd have to think that he's only going to get better between now and the Want to Make a Mile. He's doing a 3K this weekend at the New Balance Games. Speaking of Millrose Games, that is.
Hang on, don't move on from Cam Myers that quickly.
No? What do you want to
Because he
talk
won
about?
by 5 seconds or 4 seconds. He absolutely smashed him. So that's a huge, and there's some good runners there as well. But
Yeah.
did you see the little moustache? At the end of the year, I said we need to see a bit of bad boy about Cam Myers this year, didn't we? And I don't know if he's listened, but he's rolled out the little moustache.
Well,
It looks good.
Well, I still remember he sort of pushed that pacemaker off the track to get out of my way.
He's got it in his skin, and now we're seeing it. I love that new look from Cam Myers. So just braining blokes by 4 seconds, and then he's got the little mo there as well.
Yes. All right, back to Millrose Games 2 mile field. That was released during the week. And listen to this. Geordie Beamish, Graham Blanks, Grant Fisher, Josh Kerr, Ethan Strand, Parker Wolf, Jake Whiteman, Cole Hocker, Kai Robinson, Drew Hunter, Cooper Tier, and Kurgat. That 2 mile field is insane.
That's incredible, isn't it?
Looking forward to see how Kai goes against those other big dogs.
So will Cam do the mile there?
Yeah, that'll be the
Want to
make a mile. Yeah.
So this is like their second tier race, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I guess the Want to Make a Mile is always yeah.
Crazy.
I'm guessing now a lot of these guys are sort of coming out of like base training, so like a 2 mile probably makes a little bit more sense for a lot of them. And last bit of news from me, which came through this morning, was Hayley Kitching took down Zoe Buckman's Australian 1,000 metre short track record with a time of 2:38.45. Zoe's previous record was 2:39.47 set back in 2017.
Okay, what do we know about Hayley?
Oh, she's been like quite competitive at the NCAA sort of titles, but I reckon last year may have
Penn State she runs for.
Yeah, may have had a few injuries last year because she was on this like pretty good trajectory, and then she sort of didn't really make the headlines in the last sort of 12 months. But she's definitely one to watch.
She signed a NIL deal with Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Watch that name, breaking records. My news for the week, Doha Marathon happened and Tamirat Tola got the win. This is the Olympic champ. He also has won New York a couple of times, was down to run Sydney that year, remember? And then he broke his contract because he raced like too soon to the race, so he didn't end up coming. He won this 2:05.40 course record, first marathon since Paris. He bet Asefa Boki in 2:05.55. And the winner of the women's was Tigist Gezahagn. She ran 2:21.14 and won Ethiopia's first Paralympic gold in Tokyo when she won the 1,500 meter. She's a vision impaired athlete. How good is that?
That's cool, hey? Like
a para athlete winning the overall race.
Yeah, in 2:21.
So good. Yeah. She won by a bit too. She won by over a minute. Tigist Gezahagn was second, 2:22.33. Heaps of money at this race. 1 million Qatari dollars, I think it was, which translated to about 411,000 Australian dollars in total prize money. So you're expecting those winners. They're taking a bit of that home. Now, good to see some New Zealand news because I know you're not real. Sometimes these New Zealand news doesn't make it in here, Croaks. But we've got some Sam Ruthe news. The 16-year-old has done it again over there at the Potts Classic. Watch the video of the last 50 metres when him and Sam Tanner are so close together here. Both were flying. 145.86 for Sam Ruthe. He's only 16. Going to say that again. 145 for a 16-year-old. Moves him to 7 all-time on the New Zealand list. Sam Tanner right next to him, 145.94. So crazy fast. These guys, and I feel a bit like Cam when he goes to indoors as well. They know how to run fast in January.
Yeah.
Which is the biggest problem for these guys because our track season's the opposite.
And I think both these guys are actually going over to do some indoor races.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you watch his little YouTube video too? Was it YouTube or Instagram one? It was pretty
day
raw.
of, like the one in the lead up to a race. Yeah, and I've seen some other training clips as well.
Yeah, it's pretty good, that kind of access you can get to him. Thanks to Precision Fuel and Hydration, chances are you're getting ready for a race yourself, but how dialed in is your race nutrition? Precision Fuel and Hydration makes it simple with a free online planner. Visit precisionhydration.com and get your numbers today. What do you want to go with next, Croaks? Can we quickly fit in? I'm hoping to call our guest in about 3 minutes. I said 8 p.m.
Want to whip through some whispers?
Yeah, this is just note these things down. If you're out on a run and you're not paying attention, start paying attention because there's about 6 or 7 things written here. First one, Zach Faccioni leaving OAC Oceania. He announced that on his Instagram. So 2 years straight out of college to there.
Yeah, a couple of years,
Yeah, he was one of the OG ones, wasn't he? One national cross.
Well, I think Bucks was probably the OG.
Yeah, you can't take that off Bucks. One national cross recently, second at Melbourne Half Marathon behind Have To. But I think he ran 13:24 for 5K for his best time over the summer or European summer. So,
and based on his post, he's still he's still going all in on the athletics by the sounds of it.
That's good.
Not giving up.
Whisper number 2, Tom DeCano is going to do Ballarat Marathon. They've announced their headliner. So Tommy DeCano going for his second win down there in 3 years. Jen Gregson, Nagoya Marathon. So she's backing up quickly because a December marathon to is Nagoya Feb or March? I reckon it's March. So that's pretty quick there as well. Her backup. Sam Tanner. There's a whisper here that he's possibly leaving Puma to go to On, which I'm wondering if he's going to join the On group in Melbourne, Croaks. That could be quite interesting.
Yeah, well, I think there's a photo from the 800 that he ran on the weekend, and I think his tights were On, and the top was Puma, and the spikes were Puma.
Watch this space, listeners, for Sam Tanner. Jimmy Whelan, he's going to announce his new sponsorship any day now, so he'll turn into a professional runner. Next whisper is that World Cross Country is permanently going to be in Tallahassee, Florida. This come from Leanne Pompiani on the road to somewhere. Didn't know how true it was, Croaks, when you were listening. I was like, It's a weird whisper, Leanne, but I messaged her privately and said, how confident are you? She said that was the vibe over there. They're going to have it there every couple of years.
I was surprised by that as well. I'm not sure I'm a massive fan of it, to be honest.
Well, yeah, we might ask some people some questions about that shortly. Yeah. The Boston Marathon's going to announce their international elite field any day now. I'm here in January 22nd. We know of one big Aussie name already on that, but I'm here and there's going to be another big Aussie female who's also going to be listed for Boston. So just watch that space, January 22nd. And the last one, Shocks have like a global ambassador that's an Australian every year. I think previously it's been Brett Robinson. Not sure if he's still going to be, but there's going to be a new one that I know who it is, but I'll let them announce it.
Yeah, right. Male or female?
Male. Did you get some shocks the other day in the post as well?
Yeah, did get some shocks and
like a gift pack? Did you get that?
Yeah, it was a clock. A very interesting clock.
Magnets there was too. Anyway, Croaks, do you want to introduce our next guest? I'm going to see if I can get her on the line here. I think we're all organised, but you want to give us a bit of an introduction?
All right. So our guest this week made her Aussie debut at the recent World Cross Country Champs in Tallahassee, where she finished 39th. Has PBs of 4:04 for the 1500, 8:42 for 3K, and 14:49 for 5K. She's also a member of OAC Oceania. And do we have her on the line, Brady?
I'll just dial it now, Croaks. Just give me 2 seconds. Just putting in the number that you've sent through earlier. Hope she picks up.
Hey guys,
Hey,
How are you,
Maudie.
how
Maudie?
are we?
Yeah, we're good, thanks. How about you? You're up in Falls Creek at the moment?
I am. I'm up at Falls Creek. Got here 2 days ago. So yeah, enjoying it up here, mountain air.
What's a Monday at Falls Creek look like?
So at the moment our team's on a Monday, Wednesday, Friday workouts. So this morning, yeah, a little bit different to the usual, but yeah, we've just pushed everything a day earlier. But yeah, so this morning we actually had our sort of our typical Tuesday, but we had some Ks and 500s up on the aqueduct, and then this afternoon had a double run.
Okay, give us some splits. We're like nerds on this podcast. So what are we hitting the 1Kers on? The 500s as well.
Yeah, so the Ks, I had 4 by a K, and they were in like 3:15 to 3:12. But majority of them were around that 3:14, 3:15. And then had 8 by 500, and those were in 1:32 to 1:35.
Okay.
Yeah, nice.
And this is the aqueduct really close to the village. Like Craig doesn't make
Yeah.
it do them where he used to do them back on the dodgy
No,
one.
yeah, we don't have to go out there, luckily, because that footing is not great anymore. But no, yeah, up on the nice smooth trail at the top. Craig calls it the M1, and yeah, we can get moving pretty fast up there. So yeah.
And Maudie, what was your world cross country experience like? And I guess for some context, you went to FSU, which is where the cross country worlds were held. Yeah, what was the experience like, and were you happy with the result?
Yeah, it was an awesome experience. I mean, especially just being my debut for Australia. It was awesome to get out there and put the kit on, and yeah, just the added nostalgia and just such a special experience to be going back to FSU and Tallahassee and racing on a course I've trained on so many times. So that was just so special. And yeah, I really enjoyed the experience. It was definitely tough. If you asked me right after the race, I would have said it was not fun. It was very brutal out there. And yeah, 10K is a long way for me. But after a few days of reflection and everything, I'm really happy with the result and happy that I put forward a pretty good performance. Definitely wanted a little bit more on the day, as we always do. But yeah, it was a very solid result, and happy to come away with that for my first World Championships.
Was it crazy as you expected world cross country to be? Like we see the fast starts and like did you watch back all the old cross country or world cross countries and stuff as well to kind of do some, I guess, study on how the race unfolds?
Yeah, I'd watched like a little bit of it, not loads actually, but I'd sort of just been hearing, from people like Leanne who'd done 4 World Cross, well, that was her 4th, and people like Collis, all sort of just talking throughout the week and stuff, saying like it always goes out fast. It's going to go out crazy fast, especially with Tallahassee. It's a downhill start, so it's a little daunted for that, and just mostly just the 10K and racing a lot of people I'm not used to racing and sort of how they were going to tackle the race. That was all a bit daunting, sort of not knowing what to expect. But, I've done NCAA cross country, and those races are probably even more intense. You usually have like 300 people on the start line. It's just a crazy sea of people. So in a way, I found myself more like alone out there than I thought I would. So the packs really broke up and everyone was quite spread out. So I wasn't expecting that as much, but yeah, it was definitely a daunting experience lining up against all those girls and knowing what the course was like. I'm sure you guys probably saw all those obstacles and everything they had out there for us to tackle. So yeah.
You went pretty much through the first lap with Leanne. I remember watching it on the stream, and Lauren was she just ahead, and then you two guys come through together, and then they both did a great job of just picking people off, and you kind of stayed pretty similar throughout the race. And then I just remember seeing the footage of you kind of cross the line and you went off to the right and kind of hands and knees on the ground, and I'm thinking, this is hard work, this world cross country, which I think that's what everyone should be crossing the line looking like, because it's such a tough event. But kind of tell us about how the race panned out in different stages.
Yeah, so my plan going into the race was, get out strong, find a good position, but be conservative early on. I didn't want to have that big blow up out in the race, and wanted to sort of use that last 4K to really build and try and pick off people was the plan. And I also was like, all right, I think Leanne's a good person to follow. You know, she's really experienced and I've raced her a few times. So I sort of used her as a guide, as all right, I'll try and stick around her, but you know, if anyone's doing anything crazy, I'll sort of have to make a judgment of where's my people in the race. So yeah, the race went off and I found myself pretty close to Leanne. I was like, okay, this is good. Lauren was a bit further ahead. And then Leanne sort of made a move to get up on the next group. And I was like, all right, I've just got to make that move. Like, let's go. And I was like, then I was in that group and we were sort of, yeah, I guess the second or third pack. And I was comfortable there and the pace was feeling good. But then slowly that pack started to creep up on the pack ahead and join the group that Lauren was in. And I was like, oh no, like I wasn't planning to be this far up this early in the race. Like this is getting pretty close to the front. And I was probably in maybe the mid-20s or so, mid to high 20s. I was like, Craig had sort of said, let's, you know, 40s, 50s at the start and then try and finish up in those 20, 30s if we can. So I was a bit sort of freaking out like, oh, I'm up here with some really strong girls that are really good at the 10K on the track. Can I hold this? So I sort of decided to drop back a little bit and just be a bit more conservative as we're only around sort of 3K at this point. Knew I had a long way to go. So found myself alone for a little bit, which is never fun. But then another group of girls sort of caught up and I was like, right, these are the people I need to stay with. If I drop off this pack, I'm in trouble. And then I pretty much stayed in that same position most of the way around. I think I maybe lost a couple places in the end and caught a couple in the last K or two. Yeah, as it came to the last 4K, I was like, I'm not sure if I can start to pick it up right now. I'm really struggling. But I made sure I put in a good last lap and picked up as many girls as I could. Some were really falling back and some were really pushing on, finishing strong. It was a bit of a mixed bag at the end, as it always is with cross country. And then had a big sprint finish down the home straight with another girl. And yeah, that just absolutely sent me. So yeah, I was hands and knees at the end. But yeah, you've got to give it your all in the last bit of a race.
Yeah. What does team culture look like at World Cross Country? Like, was there a appointed captain, or like, do you guys have someone make a speech the night before, or what happens behind the closed doors with like Team Australia, or nothing?
Yeah, so we're all staying, pretty much everyone's staying in a hotel together, and a few other countries are in our hotel as well. I think we had Japan, the US, Canada, and Spain. So there's, you know, a lot of countries around, which is fun, you know, it adds to the experience. The day before, we just had a bit of a team meeting with the senior men's team as well as the under 20 boys and girls. And that was just sort of, you know, like building excitement and also just going over like a lot of logistics for the day. But
who was leading that that meeting?
Yeah, so Adam Diddick, he was sort of the team leader, and then we had two other coaches as well. So yeah, Collis sort of talked us through a little bit of like his experience and stuff like that, and then we all handed out bibs, which was like a kind of fun thing. Adam had the person with the most World Cross experience hand out the first bib, and then so on and so on. Then the debutants handed out bibs to others, so that was a bit of a fun sort of experience. And yeah, we each handed a bib to one of the junior girls, so that just was creating a bit of like camaraderie. And then we actually did like split off into groups and 2 senior athletes with 2 junior athletes, and just sort of talked over like nerves and, you know, how everyone was feeling. So that was nice. But otherwise, the team camaraderie was really just like having meals together every day. We're all in a, you know, big dining hall for meals, and pretty much would have that with the girls every day. So that was just, you know, just chit chatting, talking nonsense. But yeah, I think that builds a bit of that team environment, just spending 3-4 days in the lead up, having breakfast, lunch and dinner together.
Did you learn anything off the other countrymen and women? Like, do you pick up any like, oh, this person does this and I never thought to do that before, or?
Not really. I think it was more just like, yeah, talking about how we're going to tackle the race. And I think Leanne did make one comment that I was like, oh, okay, I'm going to stick with that. She was like, you know, normally the person that goes out the hardest never finishes up the front. So I was like, all right, gotta make sure I don't go out too hard. But
She's
no, I think
it was a good experience too.
Yeah. But yeah, mostly it was just us talking about the course and how we were going to attack each obstacle. Was a lot of the team chit chat. Like, are you going to jump the alligators? Are you going to step on them? How are you going to go through the mud? What do you think about the water? So that was probably what was filling most people's minds the night before.
And the relay team are like separate to all this, like they're doing their own thing. Like, did you guys get that excitement and the hype of obviously them getting the gold medal?
Oh yeah, for sure. So we were able to get out there before and watch their race, which was really nice. So their race went off about 30 minutes before we warmed up. So we'd just arrived at the course and got to watch most of that, which was really exciting. And yeah, we were standing up near the mud, watching them come through for each leg. And that was just so exciting and got us so hyped and ready to go warm up. Seeing
You
like
could
that
actually
happen
hear
is,
you guys on the stream. Like you were right next to the camera. You could see the green and gold, and then
yeah, a
like
few
hear your
people said
voices
they
cheering.
saw me
Yeah,
like screaming and filming on the camera.
it was good.
I was like, there's my screen time for the day. But yeah, so that mean was just such a surreal thing to see an Aussie team win gold at a world championships. It's not something that happens very often. So to be able to be there and watch that happen and see Jess come around that last corner with so much daylight behind her, it was just like, wow, like they talked about wanting to win a medal, but they've actually come out and done it. So yeah, that was really cool to see. And the junior girls went off right after them, and we went and talked to them and sort of hyped them up a bit. And we are like, carry that energy, like use that to get you through the race. So definitely a team atmosphere, and everyone's feeding off each other.
And did you change your training at all in the lead up to World Cross? Because I believe that you were in Canberra for the trials, but you didn't run the trial. So I guess why didn't you run the trial? And was there anything specific that you changed to prepare for Cross?
Yeah, so our team went up to Falls Creek in November. We did a 3-week stint up there in the lead up to World Cross Trials because I think we had about 5 of us that were planning to run World Cross Trials. So yeah, had a really good lead up, but unfortunately on the Monday before the trials up at Falls Creek was just doing some strides and hurt my hamstring. Hamstrings had been a little tight just from the hills and the weather had been pretty cold and stuff. So yeah, I was doing some strides and one of the hammies just went. And I was like, oh no, that didn't feel too good, but it shouldn't be anything too major. Tried doing a session the next morning and it was not happy. So I just had to take 2 days off and was just nursing it a little bit. But we were still pretty confident I'd be able to race because it was pretty minor. So yeah, decided still to travel to Canberra because obviously I really wanted to be on the team and that had been sort of the goal of the camp and wanted to get back to Tallahassee. So I traveled to Canberra, was able to do my like pre-meet workout and everything, and the hamstring was feeling okay. So I was positive, but still we were a little bit tentative about obviously racing a 10K hills. It's a long way and didn't want to hurt myself more and jeopardize the whole track season or anything. So yeah, but still got out to Stromlo in the morning, or it was afternoon actually, I think, and did the warm up and was kind of feeling the hamstring on the hills because that was the first hills I'd done since hurting it. And Craig decided to make the call that it just wasn't worth racing and would put in an injury exemption and hope that it would be approved. But we were a little unsure, being haven't done many 10Ks, so we're just sort of hoping that they'd look at my 5K fitness and sort of go off that. But yeah, that was just a waiting game till selection came out, and obviously luckily I was selected, which was really nice. And yeah, it was just nice ending for the year, and to know I was going to get to go back to Tallahassee was a big added bonus. So yeah, that was all a little bit frustrating and annoying, and it was just such a minor injury, but just came at that annoying time where you don't want to risk it for a race. But I was able to get back into training, I think 3 or 4 days after the trials, and everything's been all good since then. But in regards to training, not much really has changed. I think the World Champs being in January was a really good time of year for us. A lot of us are just in that big base training, building fitness. So a 10K slotted in really nice. Maybe I did a little bit extra volume and some more stuff over Christmas than I normally would, but leading into a big World Champs, obviously. But yeah, volume's gone up a little bit, but that was also just, I think, natural progression of the year and the athlete that I am now. A few more sort of 10K volume sessions. But yeah, training pretty much stayed the same and still is the same. Just, yeah, focusing on getting those miles in and getting fit for the track season ahead.
You have a question, Brady?
I was wondering, Maudie, what is, like, you're talking about training then, and at the start you kind of chatted about this Monday, Wednesday, Friday program. Like, what does it look like? What do those Wednesdays and Friday workouts look like? And what's your long run at? And how many times a week you're doubling? Give us a week of training.
Yeah, so Mondays at the moment, it's pretty some sort of Ks, 500s, VO2 sort of work, like I said earlier. And then I double every session day as well as at the moment Sundays. So so then on the next day then be Tuesday I run 16K, just one run and usually gym. Then this Wednesday coming up we have hills, so we'll get out on Mount Mackay and do probably 6 by 800 meter hills, but that session, depending on the time of year, could also be track session, a bit more 5K or based, or if it's leading into a 1500 meters, something a bit more speedy. So that's the one that sort of changes around a fair bit depending on the time of year. Then Thursday at the moment, so all my days are confused, is usually a bit more of a recovery day. We'll have somewhere from 12 to 14K, nice and easy, or if I'm lucky, maybe a cross-train day or a day off, but usually 12K. And then this Friday coming up, we've got just some longer threshold reps, usually 2K times 5 or 3 by 3K, kind of depends. But yeah, we usually do broken threshold, sticking to our heart rate values that we have from testing in the lab, and any sort of variation of that, but longer reps, short recovery. And then I'll be doubling that day as well. And then the next day will be long run. Long run is usually 21 to 23K. So not super long, but getting up there to sort of hour 30, hour 40 running.
It's a good week.
Sunday, and then Sunday, which is normally Monday, but our Sunday, we start the week Sunday now, is 14K in the morning and 6 or 7K in the afternoon with some strides.
What kind of pace do you jog at too? Like, what's the default Maudie Skyring jogging pace?
There's a big range that could be out there. I probably most runs are around like 4:30 to 4:40. If I'm on my own and I'm not feeling too good, it'll probably be somewhere between 4:45 and 5 minutes. But when I'm with the team, most runs are sort of, around that 4:30, maybe getting down to 4:20. Long runs are usually a bit faster, 4:20 or so average. But I'd say a nice, comfortable Maudie pace is around, 4:35 or something.
That's good for some of our listeners to hear, Croaks. If someone running 14:49 for 5K is happy to jog at 5 minutes at their easy days, that's good.
I would love every day to be at 5 minutes, but I'd be dropped and running by myself all the time. But I love a nice, easy recovery day. Just feel good and get ready for the next session. They're the key parts.
What sessions do you love and which ones do you dislike?
Ooh, that's good. I don't like hills very much. I'm not the best on hills. Definitely struggle on those sessions and will get pulled through by my teammates, but hills are not my forte. And I also, don't love the long, grindy sessions. Even though I'm a 5K runner, I'm still getting used to all that. But I definitely prefer shorter, faster reps on the track. Even if there's a lot of them, like I don't mind heaps of 400s or something like that, but shorter reps definitely are my favorite. Getting on the track and getting to do something fast is always fun.
And on your training, Maudie, obviously Craig Mottram is the head coach at OAC Oceania. We've had him on the show before, and my co-host actually got shut down because he tried to ask Craig what his training philosophy was. So we're hoping you can actually help us. I might just play this is what happens when Croaks went to ask Craig what the training philosophy was.
Now that you're a coach, how would you describe your coaching philosophy?
That's a shit question. People ask me this all the time. And that is...
Come on, Croaks.
You explain to me what that question means,
All right,
Croaks.
all right.
So we're hoping, Maudie, you can help us out. Like when you get your training, do you get
Very
any
typical
information
Craig.
about what the philosophy is? And did you know who he was before you signed?
I actually didn't really know who he was, which is kind of bad, but I saw a DM actually come through from him on Instagram, and I was like, I know that name, I know they're pretty good, but I didn't know. I had to look him up and see all his accolades, and I was like, oh yeah, he was really good. So, but my brother, who's not even a runner, knew Craig, so I think it was just bit of the wrong era. I kind of got into running late. So yeah, but I think Claudia had been training with him for years, and she was like, Craig was a good athlete. He definitely doesn't talk about it that much. But training philosophy, I mean, it is a hard question, and I can see where he's getting at with what does that exactly mean? But I would say where, probably more is better, high volume, most of us definitely getting those Ks in. He definitely doesn't care about pace on those easy days. He's just get it done. Time on legs is what matters. And then just hitting three really good solid sessions a week.
It's like
just,
a cover
I think
all
he's just
bases program.
Heads down, get it done kind of mentality. It's nothing special. Just get the work done.
Yeah, well put. There you go, Croaks. There's your answer.
All right, thanks for that. A question just in regards to your last season, that 14:49. Firstly, congratulations! That was a phenomenal run. It was under the World Championship standard, yet you didn't make the team. Now, most years in the past, if you ran the standard, you're pretty much on the team. So, how did you take that mentally, knowing that you obviously ran such a big PB but didn't make the team?
Yeah. Mentally, it was a really challenging time, I will admit. It was definitely a very bittersweet season, and it was hard to sort of put it all together in my head, being wow, I've finally done what I've been aiming for all season. I've run that World Championship standard. That was such a big goal. And, I came off that race with so much excitement. I was like, oh my gosh, I did it. I'm going to Tokyo, hopefully. And then I think it was 3 or 4 days later, London Diamond League happened, and I knew we had a few Aussies lining up, and yeah, they absolutely killed it and ran so fast. And I was like, oh, I'm off the team. It was a very quick, that race just completely, I watched it, and as much as I wanted to be happy for them, I was super bummed. But yeah, I had to sort of, compartmentalize, well, I can't say it, but sort of go, yeah, obviously I might not make the team and I have to wait for selection and everything, but I have run the time I wanted to do, and I've made such big improvements this year, run a bunch of PBs, and I ticked off that one big goal that I can control. So it was obviously really hard not being selected, and as you said, any other year would have been on that team. I think that was the toughest pill to swallow, was that, if I'd just done this last year, I would have been on the team. Any other year, some years you don't even have to run the standard, you just had to be in world rankings. Yeah. So yeah, that really did suck, but I think it's almost a good problem that we have in Aussie distance running, that we have so many girls running fast, running the time, and it's only helping us all be better. Hopefully I'll be on the other end of it this year, and I'll be one of the ones making the team, but as long as I keep improving, I guess that's all you can ask for.
Do you think it will get to a stage where we go pick your best event? Because this happened to Kat Myers a couple of years ago as well. He got left off, would have done him the world of good having that Paris Olympics experience, just because we've got people still doing 15s and 5s or 8s and 15s, and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would obviously love that, but so that was what was also hard. I obviously ran the standard, and then knew other girls were faster. I think I was ranked 5th for Australia, but sort of had to wait that next few weeks to see who they would select, and I was pretty sure it wouldn't be me, but you never know. So I had to keep training and putting in all the work in case I was going to a world champs. But yeah, I was like, the only way I'll be on that team is if they don't allow doubling. And, that was a possibility. But we obviously had a bunch of girls that showed they could double. Lyndon doubled at nationals and she did it really well. So, and obviously she doubled at the world champs and did really well. So it is hard because we have girls that are capable of it and are doing it well. But it is also, if you have people that have hit standards, I do believe giving everyone an opportunity and making the team as big as it can be is also something that's great. So it's hard. I mean, I definitely think if you want to double, you should double at nationals, and that kind of becomes hard when you don't have the 10K at nationals and you don't have to see people run a 5 and 10 within a few days span. But yeah, I mean, I just think getting as most people on the team as you can is always a great opportunity, and yeah, giving people experience. So that's why I'm really grateful that I was able to be on that world cross country team. Obviously, it wasn't on the track, but just having that experience and opportunity to see what it's like to be in a team environment and put on the green and gold in a bit of a more low pressure environment was really good, and hopefully will help me out this year.
Yeah, well said. Croaks, next question for you.
Just what did you study over in college? And when you came out of college, like obviously you signed with On, did you have some other options?
Yeah, so in college, I studied exercise science for 4 years, and then I did a master's in exercise physiology my last year. Obviously, I, have that knowledge and use it a little bit in my training, but I wouldn't say I use it too much. I'm just full-time athlete at the moment, but, maybe later on I will use my master's degree. We'll see. But I definitely, I took that master's to get another year in college and have that 5-year experience over there. And yeah, when I came out of college, I mean, I never went over with the thought of even, running professionally. I just was so excited that I was even getting the opportunity to be on a scholarship. And as the years sort of went on in my 4th and 5th year, I was like, oh, that could be a possibility. But, wasn't too sure. And yeah, I had a few offers come my way. Definitely talked to a few US-based groups, and that was what I was sort of planning to do, was to stay in the US until my running career was done, and however long that may be. But yeah, talk to Adidas, talk to Under Armour, and sort of weighed up some options. But as soon as I heard about On and that they were starting the OAC out in Melbourne, I was pretty much all aboard for that. No other team got me as excited, and just the opportunity to be back in Australia and get to do the domestic races, something I hadn't done in so long, was pretty exciting. And to be back close to family and everything, and also just be a part of something new, like the fact that this team was just starting and I was going to be one of the first athletes to join it, was really cool and exciting prospect. And yeah, just wanted to be a part of it.
We were talking before about who the OGs were. Were you were one of the OGs? Like Ben Buckingham was, we think he was that OG, but was there more than him at the very start? Were you one of those?
Yeah, so we had like a team launch, which was sort of like all the people at that, I guess the OGs. So that was me, Ben Buckingham, Claudia Hollingsworth, Tess Kersop-Cole, and Keely Small. So obviously, yeah, 2 of those girls are no longer on the team, but yeah, that was the original group that was there when the team was launched to the world. That there was now an OAC in Melbourne.
Cool. Hey, do we start seeing more OAC members racing on the roads, or you reckon it's still going to have this track direction? And have you heard any rumors about like OAC marathon squad?
Ooh, I think our group will mostly at the moment just be staying on the track, and I think that's what Craig wants to focus on, is just the track, and I think that's where he thinks his sort of expertise lies well. So at the moment, I think it'll pretty much stay as a track group, and we don't have too many athletes that want to be jumping up at the moment. But I know like some of the Boulder group, they obviously have some really great marathon runners. So, I mean, I definitely think it's always a possibility, but I think at the moment, definitely just sticking with the track.
Yeah, fair enough. And who do you look up to in the sport?
Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, I look up to Jess and Lyndon for sure. I mean, obviously, I'm staying close to home there with those two, but Lyndon's someone who I saw her FSU journey, and she was one of the reasons that I reached out to FSU, just seeing that her progression that she had over there. And we had pretty similar ones as well. So yeah, just watching her, how she's grown and just how she's still killing it at I think 32, 33 is just really inspiring and cool to see that, yeah, you can definitely still be running your best times at that age. And then Jess, I've known Jess for a long time. We both grew up in Wollongong and yep, used to do a long run with her when we were both really young and couldn't keep up with her back then either. But yeah, it's just been really cool to see her progression and seeing how Aussies can get medals on the global stage is just so awesome. And I think she's just such a sweetheart and doing really great things for the sport. So yeah, those two for sure.
Maudie, you said earlier that you got into the sport reasonably late. What age were you, and how did you get into the sport?
Yeah, probably like year 9, year 10 of high school. I didn't start, yeah, I think I maybe started training with a coach in year 10. I got into the sport by just sort of through school, cross country and athletics. Would always do really well at my school carnival without really any training, and always loved when those came around each year. But I played hockey growing up, field hockey from, yeah, like the age of like 9 up until 14, 15. And my favorite part of field hockey training was always running laps at the start. So I probably should have picked up that I liked running a little bit earlier. Everyone would dread that. And when we had to do the beep test, that was also, I loved that. And that was everyone else's least favorite day of training. So yeah, I think I just always had a love for running and really enjoyed it. And yeah, I think it was in year 9 or 10, I made it through to all schools nationals. And there were a few other good boys at my school, and they're like, you should come train with our coach. And that's what I did. And yeah, from there, just really progressed. I think, yeah, I only made nationals 2 or 3 times as a junior in those last few years. And yeah, once I started getting offers from colleges, I was like, oh, didn't even know this was a thing. So yeah, definitely got into it a lot later, which I think was good and bad. Like, I would have loved to have had those sort of world junior experiences and stuff, but definitely wasn't at that level at that age. But I think it's also been really good for me in the fact that it gives me a little bit more longevity and keeps things exciting and fresh. And yeah, really only started training at a really high level in my sort of last few years of college. So yeah, definitely got lots more time in the sport, hopefully.
And I've just got a random question about Wollongong. So I did a little bit of research, and these are the names of people that have come out of Wollongong: Karen McCann, Ryan Gregson, Jess Hull, Jai Edwards, and then from other sports like Emma McKean, the swimmer, like Sally Fitzgibbons, like a little bit further down the coast at like Jiroa, Gerringong area. But Wollongong's got a population of about 300,000. What is it about Wollongong that, creates phenomenal athletes?
Yeah, I don't know. We do have a lot of big names, and yeah, obviously, yeah, Emma McKean for swimming. Like, I think she's like the most decorated Olympic athlete ever, Australian. So yeah, and I mean, as you said, like, yeah, Ryan, Jess, like, we've had a lot of people from out there, and I don't know what it is. I mean, we have a great coastline to run along. That might definitely be it. Miles and miles of bike path right along the beach, and that's where we would do our Sunday long runs. And I still love getting back there and getting out on those trails, and we'll always hop in the beach after, maybe good for recovery. But I don't know what it is. And yeah, we have the Karen McCann athletics track, and love going back there and training on that. Actually have a bunch of Karen's stuff got donated to my local club, Kembla Joggers, when I was a young athlete. So I think I have a few of her t-shirts still stored away. So yeah, that's a pretty cool thing. But yeah, Wollongong's a special place, I guess.
It is.
Hey, Maudie, you have this ability to like rinse yourself in like the last 15, 20% of every race you do. What goes through your head? Like, there's so many times we watch you on the track and you're like, oh, yeah, there's 2 laps to go. And you're like, look
She's
like you're
done.
about to run. Yeah, no, but then you just have this ability to hold on and fight. And Noosa Bolt was a bit the same. Like, they just couldn't drop you. And then you take that last turn and get the win. Is it something you think about, or is it something you practice in training, or it's just that instinct that takes over on race day?
Yeah, I think it's almost, I think my thing is that everyone knows I do it in training. I do it just on easy runs. I drop off a lot and I'm like, all right, get back on. And I'll drop off now, get back on. And it's probably not a good thing, but yeah, it's just, I don't know what it is, but I do have that ability just to keep fighting when I'm hurting a lot. And yeah, it's not something I necessarily practice. It's something I try not to practice. Craig will yell at me like, stay on, do not drop off, no gaps. That's what I hear all the time. No gaps, no gaps. So that's what I try and think in my head when I'm racing, like, don't let any gaps form, but they always do. And I'll yo-yo back and off and back the pack. But yeah, I don't know what it is that allows me to just keep fighting. But yeah, people always say like, oh, you look like you were done at a K and you still somehow fought to the end. But yeah, I guess I just get a bit gritty at the end and I don't want to let him go. But yeah, just.
Hey, it's a good skill to have. Most of the people throw in the towel at that stage, but yeah, you managed to be able to just stay there and come home. Hey, last one from me. I like to know what people are reading. What's on your bedside table? You got a book on the go? What does Maudie Skyring read?
I actually am not the biggest reader, but
Netflix, what are we watching?
Well, I am reading. Okay. I'm reading Harry Potter, actually. Okay. My husband's really into Harry Potter and he has all the books, so I sometimes bring that up to Falls Creek, but I do enjoy the movies, but the books put me to sleep a bit, which is good because, that's what you want before bed. But I am more of a TV watcher, and at the moment I am watching the best show ever, which is Love Island. So yes, love me some Love Island, especially the UK season. Love all the accents, but yeah, that's what gets me through training camps. Bit of reality TV.
Okay, good. Croaks.
We've also got the tennis on the TV upstairs at the moment, so we're getting into some good Australian Open as well.
Oh, yeah.
Just last one from me. So, like, Craig's obviously coach. Does he do like the managing for you as well, or do you have a separate manager?
Yeah, we all have a separate manager. So, a few different agents throughout the team, but my agent is Stephen Haas. He's with Total Sports. He's based over in the US. So, yeah, I got in contact with him after college. And yeah, just worked with him since then. So yeah, it's nice to have someone that's based over in the US, but he also has a bunch of Aussie athletes like Abby and Jess and a few others on our team as well. So yeah, he's the one that does all our getting into races and travel and things like that. So yeah, Craig he manages our stuff that happens within Australia and our training camps and everything. But yeah, our agents do our racing.
Awesome. And then where do listeners see your race next? Murray Plant would be on the agenda, I'm sure.
Yes. First up before that will be Hobart Track Classic, which used to be Sydney Track Classic, but racing a 3K there. It's the National 3K, so that's always a fun race. That is the end of February, I think Feb 28th maybe. So yeah, really excited for that. That's where I'll be opening my track season, and I really like the 3K. That's one of my favorite distances. So looking forward to that. And then I think soon after that, I'll be at Adelaide Track Classic, probably doing a 5K there, but not 100% sure yet. And then Maury Plant comes after that, and I think that's a 1500. So hoping to be able to get into that field and test my lax in a 15, get a bit speedy.
Good. That's a good season, isn't it? 3 different distances, 3 different cities.
Yeah, perfect lead up into nationals where I'll most likely be doing a 5K. So, yeah.
Hey, Croaks, why don't they call Hobart Track Classic Briggs Track Classic like they did back in the day?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah. Wonder why they dropped the name. This is before your time, Maudie, but it used to always be like the first track classic after the Falls Creek camp.
Yeah.
So you'd come down and there used to be a 5K there.
2011, 2012.
Yeah, I've heard about it. Yeah.
you
Was
ever run
that?
it?
I was meant to. I got injured.
Yeah. Surprise.
Yeah, I've never
I-
raced in Hobart, so I'm excited for a different track.
Oh, yeah. Tracks on the top of the hill. There'll be heaps
Yeah, I've
of
heard it
listeners
gets a
getting
little
ready for
windy.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you'll be right. That's good. Maudie, thank you so much for your time. We didn't know
No
much about you.
worries.
Like we've said your name plenty on this podcast, and we knew how you raced, and you always come up in results and stuff. It's been so good to get to know the person behind the name.
Oh, thanks, guys. Yeah, I really appreciate you guys inviting me on. I definitely have listened to a bunch of your guys' episodes, and yeah, thanks for all the shout outs all the time. And yeah, it was great to meet you guys as well.
You're
No
welcome
worries.
anytime.
Thanks, Maudie.
Oh, thank you.
How was that, Croaks? Just refreshing. Knew nothing about her until we turned that mic on. And just as this, I've said it before, and she's actually, I think she's 28, but she's still in that next batch of athletes coming through. They're just so well spoken. They're just
Yeah.
so
And I think that's one area where we need to, like, when we first started the podcast, we were doing interviews every single week and you know, just attaching them to the end of the weekly show. Whereas I feel like over the last, probably 12, 18 months, like we haven't had as many of those one-on-one interviews. Like we're getting people calling in now, but, you know, Maudie's somebody that we probably should have interviewed, 12 months ago sort of thing. So we probably need to get back onto, interviews with that next crop.
Yeah. Good point there. Couple of names on the top of my head I can think of as well.
Because if you think about how many people like write in and say, oh, thanks to your podcast, we know about this person, that person, and we've enjoyed following their journey. So we probably need to look into doing a bit more of that.
Yeah. If you're watching someone represent the country, you should know. You should have heard of their interview on our podcast.
Yeah.
Which there is one that I've tried numerous times, haven't been able to get across the line.
I think there's been a couple.
Yeah, anyway. It's been back and forth with this one we've been trying to hook for a while, but just haven't been able to get there. All right, where are we?
Brady on the loose, I think.
I've got a good one. Tell you what, I'm on the bike, whatever day it was, Wednesday, I think I had a bike ride, going over the Moama Bridge, probably pedaling it I'm not very good on a bike. I'm probably like 25k an hour. None of yours is with kind of stuff. And I hear this like humming noise from behind me, this buzzing noise. Zzz, and I'm like, what is that? Anyway, this bloke fangs past me on one of those e-scooters. Must have been going 70 k's an hour on a tiny little like bike path, footpath. And I'm seeing them around everywhere, Croaks. I don't know what it's like in Canberra, but like e-bikes, e-scooters that go like 50 to 70 k's an hour on bike paths. It is the Wild West out there on footpaths and bike paths. And I feel like the police have no control over it whatsoever. And I don't blame the kids actually, because if I was 15 or 16, that would be so much fun to go. Like I had so much fun as a kid just riding a bike that went 5, 10 k's an hour, doing jumps, stuff like that. Like I could not imagine how much fun that would be, having a bike that goes 70 kilometers per hour. But I'm sure people have got hurt already, but way more people are going to get hurt. It's going to become unsafe to be doing work. Like if I'm running 20k an hour in a workout and someone's going 70k an hour the opposite direction and I'm dodging a pram and they're coming at me, I'm like, this is a recipe for disaster. And maybe we've got to get the kids back on social media. Maybe we chuck them back on TikTok and Snapchat and stuff like that so they get off these e-scooters and stuff. But shit, it was dangerous when this kid, and I was like, I got on the pedals. I'm like, oh, I'll keep up with this kid. And he just left me for dead.
Yeah, I don't see too much of it because I guess I run on the trails most of the time. But there's even then, like you see people on these like bikes that are they're going up a hill and they're riding fairly quick and it just doesn't look right. You're like, how are you riding up that hill that fast while not putting in much sort of effort? But I agree with you, Brady. And I'm not sure whether you saw actually on the news, like it was on the news today on like 9MSN or whatever, that there's these like bike gangs in Sydney, like just taking over streets.
There's one in Melbourne as well, I think, down at Docklands.
Golf courses and like they're not even talking about like runners. They're just saying like somebody's going to get killed because like they don't need to be like there's no rules about them. You don't need a license. You don't need registration.
That's a Wild West on the bike paths of Australia, Croaks.
Yeah.
It's the Wild West. And I feel like the police are losing this battle to keep them under control. And every month that goes past, I just notice more and more of them on our. And what are you going to do as a parent when Lily asks you for one in a couple of years' time?
Well, probably not get her one. I'd say ride a normal bike.
My kids don't even get that. There's no way they're getting an e-bike.
It's better for your health riding a normal bike.
Yeah.
But then if she was to get one, it's like at least teach her some etiquette and how to be considerate to others.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm just noticing like people trying to do workouts. Write in, Patreon supporters, get in those comments. We've been having some good discussions in there lately.
People that live in a built-up area that run on like paths, they will be riding in for sure.
Okay, it's not just me.
No, won't be just you.
Grumpy old man. And as I said, I get it. If I was 15, I would have one of these for sure, and I would be hotting it up to go over its legal limit. Put a stick and a screwdriver in their croaks, doing some twisting and turning, hopefully to hack it. But yeah, I don't know. What's the solution? What's the solution with these things? Listen to the question. Let's finish this show up.
All right. This episode's list of questions is proudly brought to you by Precision Fuel and Hydration. And I'm going with this one by Alistair Richardson. Has the hype around threshold training made any of you adjust the way you coach athletes? Brady?
I like threshold training. We've got to clarify here. We're talking because double threshold is the hype, but I don't have any athletes who do double thresholds. I think double threshold for people who have families or have jobs is unachievable, and it's just maybe they can handle it physically, but then trying to fit it into your life, I just don't think it's possible. I think if you can do 20 to 30 minutes worth of threshold work. If we're talking about training philosophies, that's often mine. It's like if it's someone who's running between a 5K and half marathon they're trying to hit, like I think a good kind of base area is that 25 to 30 minutes worth of threshold work, one workout, maybe some quicker stuff later in the week, maybe some hills, get in as much jogging as you can. Obviously going to hit a long run, get in as much jogging as you can to support that you're not going to get broken from, and do that consistently. I think you can be really fit and you can run anywhere between 5 and half marathon pretty successfully. This is what I'm going to do, I think, once I've got the AOK from Paddy, and it's a bit off Dan Nash as well, that I was thinking about doing maybe 3 weeks of 2 threshold workouts a week and my long run. So I get to the end of every week and I go, well, I've done 60 or 70, maybe even 80 minutes of threshold running for the week, still keeping my strides for the leg turnover and get my long run out to 2 hours. And if I do that for 3 weeks, I wonder how much I can have a jump in my fitness gains, because I do think threshold work is low risk in getting people injured, especially an older athlete. So they're not on, hitting paces, the faster stuff, which brings risk, but also gets you so strong. So yeah, this is a really good question from Alistair, and I guess it's yes. I'm trying to get in as many minutes of threshold work as I can into an athlete that's sustainable, but also touching other areas of training paces.
Yeah, I think if like most athletes that we coach are recreational and they're not running massive miles, I don't think you can give them all just threshold stuff. Like they need some higher intensity stuff in there. Like I feel like the double threshold stuff really suits people that are running like really high mileage because it's sustainable. But if you're only running like 4 or 5 times a week, then yeah, you can probably have one session that is really controlled, like threshold stuff, and then one that's a little bit more either VO2 or hill reps or something like that that's a little bit more intense.
Well, that CV pace, that 30-minute pace.
Yeah. So I generally work on, and look, I've definitely changed my philosophy a little bit, even around just experimenting with myself. Like I had one of the best years in 2022 where I came off COVID and the calf issue, and I reached out to Chriso and said, mate, I'm going to give this Norwegian sort of system a go. And from February, I was doing 6 by a K at 3:30s, like really unfit. And all I did between February and May was either on the Tuesday, it was K reps off a minute. So
at threshold?
Well,
Or
I
okay,
was,
you do 8 by 1K.
yeah, so probably a little bit quicker than threshold. So like in that sort of third, so somewhere between maybe a bit slower than CV. So I was starting off at
Like 45-minute race pace.
yeah, so like
Yeah.
320s, and then as I got fitter, the pace would just come down for the same heart rate. It was 315s, then it was 310s, and so I was basically alternating between K reps off a minute. 1 week I was doing 400s off like 30 seconds recovery, probably getting closer, somewhere between 5K and 30-minute pace. And every sort of third week, I would throw in 2 sets of 7 or 8 40-second hills with
To
three
keep that intensity.
with 3 minutes between sets. So that was like the Tuesday session. The Fridays were 6-minute reps on the treadmill at threshold, like a 30 to 40-minute progression run, which, the first 20 to 30 minutes of that was always like fairly comfortable. You're only really working hard in the last 10, and something like a 7-minute tempo, 2 minutes a bit harder, and then 90 seconds jog. And I basically did that, and I ran 30-30 at Sydney 10. So like there was really no
strong.
Yeah, that's it. I was running probably 130, 140K a week. But other than the hill session, those other sessions were all like, I would say, in that enjoyable range. And the K splits just went all the way from, like, when I first started, it was 320 for a particular effort. And then as I just got fitter, it was, 310s. And then after Sydney 10, I was down more like 305s, that sort of thing.
But it also helps because, as I said before, like how many minutes of it can you handle? But it also, when you're doing a workout that's, I don't know, what was one of the threshold ones that you said, like 6 minutes, like say 6 by 6 minutes.
Yeah.
It's 36 minutes of work. So you're working at a threshold for 30, maybe it takes you a bit in the first rep to get it up there. But let's just say 36 minutes of quality work. Compare that if you were to do an intense Deeks quarters. I know it's working a different system, but that's over in 15 minutes. So like you say you did 6 by 6 minutes twice a week, and then you did some hill strides and a good long run. You get into the end of the week with an hour and 12 minutes of threshold work, a 2-hour long run, and some short hills that are keeping that fast twitch there.
But what I found,
if you did that for a month, you would fly.
Well, even more than a month. Like you do it for 3 months. But what I found was, as I got aerobically stronger, those 400s off short recovery got significantly faster as well, because I was actually able to handle speed off short recovery. Like I remember I broke it down into, I think, 2 sets of 10, 30 seconds between reps, and maybe 2-3 minutes between the sets. And I reckon my second set was averaging 69 or 70. Like, which, is, now if I'm like right now, like I'm fairly fit, but me running 69s is pretty hard.
Yeah.
So I'm almost better off just going back to that old Ks, short hills, 400s off short recovery, and then pure threshold stuff on the Fridays, and as much jogging as I can do in between.
Yeah, how much you can just handle to recover so you can hit the next one.
So I think the message is you don't actually have to run as hard as what you think in sessions to continue to improve.
Because you can get more of it in these sessions too.
Well, yeah, and also just by backing off the intensity, it's more sustainable, which means you don't get injured, and stringing together 6 to 8 months of uninterrupted training is better than 3 or 4 weeks of really hard intensity, which, you might improve, but then you spend the next 6 weeks on the sidelines.
Yeah. And enjoyable. When you're riding that threshold line, if you're on a treadmill or out on the roads on a nice still day, it's a beautiful feeling.
The only problem I find as I'm getting older with, if I keep all of my training in that comfortably hard zone, when you then go to something like a monofartlek,
that's why Paddy chucked one in for me.
You're like, this sucks. Like,
no, but if you're fit enough to handle it and execute it properly, it sucks, but it's a different suck.
Yeah.
Like if you're strong and fit doing a monofartlek, it's always going to hurt, but you'll survive it.
But I feel like sometimes if you do too much of that really threshold training, you're like, am I becoming soft? Have I lost the ability to actually hurt myself?
No, I reckon you get to the end of the week going, I did an hour and 15 minutes worth of threshold running this week. I'm strong as an ox.
Yeah. And that's where I used to get my intensity through that hill session.
You have to still hit the hills or strides. I was writing someone's program the other day, and I'm going to experiment with this. They're about to go into in a really good spot, 14 weeks out from Ballarat Marathon. And I just was like, I'm just going to play around with 2 weeks of 2 threshold workouts. But then I was like, you must do these strides because you're not going to touch VO2 for the next 2 weeks because I'm just trying to do this top up of like threshold work. How many minutes of threshold could I push this person for? I'm guessing.
Also, did you see that the thing that's been doing the rounds on Instagram, like Almgren's little interview? And it makes so much sense that the pure threshold stuff, if you do it for long enough, gets you strong enough that you can actually then handle the 5K specific training without it actually hurting.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, at the moment, I'm sort of fit, but like the 5K specific stuff would still really be quite difficult for me because I haven't layered enough of that pure threshold stuff together to be able to do the 5K training properly. I thought that was a really good point from him.
And he kind of said, did he say not to do double threshold? What did he say about double threshold at the very start?
Yeah, he said
like if you're doing 4 runs a week and you're doing double threshold, that's not when it works.
Yeah,
when you're doing high mileage.
Exactly. Double thresholds for people that are on really high mileage. Whereas if you're not running that many times a week, you are actually better off doing some VO2 stuff.
Yeah. And also don't have jobs, families, any other responsibilities in life. That's when you do double thresholds. Thanks to Precision Fuel and Hydration. Visit precisionhydration.com and use the code IRP2026 for 15% off your first order. What's coming up, Croaks? We've got New Balance Indoor Grand Prix. This is Boston, isn't it? Where the New Balance track is?
Yep.
Pretty sure it is. We've got Jess Hull and Cam Myers, the 2 superstars, running a 3K there. Sarah Billings is in a 1,500 metres. Keep a watch on that. There's a Vic Milers meet between now and next week.
I think it's tomorrow night, Tuesday night. It's a bit random.
Tuesday night, Vic Milers, okay.
Yeah.
And ACG champs, anyone a quality? They usually get some sprinters up there, don't they?
Yeah, like there's some really good sprinters coming along. Kat Bissett is running the 800.
Oh, yeah. Didn't she move overseas to train with like...
Yeah, was it Keely Hodgson's group? Yeah. So I'm not sure. Yeah, anyway, she's running.
Georgia Hunter Bell, see, they announced her for Murray Plant as well.
Yeah, that's big news.
Is it?
Oh, I reckon. Well, yeah, I think it's good.
Yeah.
What, you don't think it's good?
No, I'm thinking like my brother rolls up next to me, like at the funeral. He's not talking about Georgia Hunter Bell coming to Melbourne for the Track Classic. I think it's big in our world, but I don't think it's getting the punters through the gates.
No, but that's the world that we're like, the people that listen to our show, you'd like to think that they would be. Yeah, but so there's still got a bigger one to come though, surely. They would love to see, but not like. She a world champ? She won the world champs, didn't she? 800. Did she win or silver? Good question. She definitely beat Keely. But her versus Jess at Murray Plant will be awesome. Yeah, that would be good. I'm just meaning like remember they pulled the Tiago, the sprinter? Yeah. Like they've got to pull a big name to get the general public through because that Gout, is he racing? Not sure. Well, they need a big sprinter to go up against Gout. Interesting fact, that M11 group? Yeah, that's what I thought she was a part of. They now have an Australian exercise physiologist working with them. Oh, who? Rach McCormick. She was in Canberra she was living in Canberra. Now she's traveling the world with them. Ah. Like Rach, she used to run on the the national series races and nationals and stuff like that. Like she was a 1,500 meter runner herself. She's the number 1 rank 800 meter runner in the world. Georgia Hunter Bell. And where'd she finish at Worlds? Did you know that? Number 1. Yeah. Did she win? I'm pattern here, Croaks. Final second. There you go. The Kenyan beat her. The young Kenyan. Yep. Remember? Don't doubt me. Don't question me, Brady. Big upset. Well, you were questioning yourself there. Oh, no, I was pretty confident she didn't win. Lillian O'Deara. You didn't remember her name, did you? You wouldn't have known. I didn't remember who won. No. This girl came out of nowhere too, didn't she, Lillian? Yep. No one knew anything about her. Yeah. Okay. What do you got coming up in your life? Back to the track tomorrow night. May head out to the ACT Champs for a look on maybe Saturday. I think Saturday night. I think Saturday night's the 800s, and then Sunday night's the 1500s. And then we might have a day trip to the coast.
Oh yeah,
later. We haven't been down there, so just to leave early in the morning, go for a swim, have lunch, and then get back late.
That'd be nice for the day.
Yeah. What about you? What do you got coming up?
Got a couple. We haven't been away this summer, but we just seem to have this rotation of friends visiting, which says a bit about Chukamoama. So I've got some friends visiting tomorrow, then a couple, they'll stay a couple of nights, and then I'm going to do Moose Fartlek tomorrow morning as well. Not much, actually. This is looking pretty quiet in this calendar.
Yeah.
No, not much at all.
No, should come up for the long weekend.
The kids are going to Bendigo. No, I'm going to enjoy the kids not being home for a couple of days, Croaks. A couple of the boys from work are going fishing, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get out the river. We'll see. Check in next week. Should be good. All right, thanks for listening, listeners. Hopefully all that audio has been saved, Croaks. It always worries me when people come in and out, but it's looking good from this end.
All right.
Do it all again next week. We've Moose back, hopefully.
All right. See ya.
Thank you for listening this week in partnership with Nordic Track. Nordic Track's commitment to innovation keeps growing. With an incredible legacy in cardio, they continue to evolve with new ways to train, from strength and cross-training to studio cycling and endurance. Paired with personalised, trainer-led iFit workouts, they deliver a premium at-home experience built to support every goal. Begin your journey today with 5% off using the code IRP2025 at nordictrackfitness.com.au.